Yes, so I was there at inside the U.S. border security building on the second floor, and there's about 12 of us waiting for our documents to be processed to be able to cross into Canada. And we heard a huge noise, and the building shook. So it felt like something had hit the building. So we all ran to the window to see what happened, and directly below us there was a big ball of fire and a lot of smoke, very black smoke filling the sky, and we could clearly see that there was a vehicle that had exploded. The trunk had been blown off. The contents of the trunk, like even a pillow, was spewed on the ground. And there was like a fuel fire that was spreading from the vehicle towards like the parking area. So we were concerned because our cars were parked there, and we're like, fire looks like it's going to get to our cars, but it didn't, fortunately.
Was it a passenger car? Was it a QVAC? Can you describe the car? What kind of car it was?
It was definitely a passenger car with regular contents, I guess. That's pretty. I don't know too much about cars, so that's pretty much all I could remember to tell you about. We were straining to see, did anybody get hurt, what happened. So we did not see any humans or bodies or anything around the whole area. There were some officials farther away because there was a fire, and they were just monitoring the fire. But there were no people close by where the incident happened.
I'm guessing right afterwards, very chaotic. What happened? Yeah, what did they tell you to do in the group, and the people in your group?
Well, it wasn't as chaotic as you would expect in a terrible situation like that. The U.S. officials just came to the room we were waiting and said, we have to evacuate the building. And then they just asked us to follow them, and we went down another hallway and down the back stairs away from where the fire was. So we just thought it was like a fire drill to evacuate for our safety. And then when we got downstairs and outside, they said, okay, you can't take your vehicles now. We can't move the vehicles, but we want you to go back to Canada. So we are all Canadians waiting, and so they just escorted us to the bridge and asked us to walk across the bridge back into Canada.
After something like that, was there any fear on your part walking across the bridge, or was everybody pretty calm?
No fear. We were taking photos of the falls. It was very calm, and just we were more confused about when we could go get our vehicles, and we were just told to wait until the border reopens and to come back and get our vehicles at that time. But we've been waiting, so that happened around 11:30 this morning, and so we've been waiting since then, and there's no news at all about when the border will be reopened. So.
Okay, basically what we were doing, we came over with my nieces and nephews and 5 kids under the age of 8, and we decided to come to Clifton Hill, spend a couple hours. They came in for the holidays, and it was starting to get a little misty. We said, hey, let's head back. And we're walking over the bridge, and we noticed this big billow of black smoke. No explosion, no noise or anything. Now we just think it's like a car fire or whatever it may be, and we just said, hey, let's get across, get back home, because we had parked, we had walked over. So we're like, let's get over. And when we got there, they said, no, there's been an explosion, you must go back to Canada. So we have not been able to return, and it looks like we don't know how long we'll be here.
You were walking toward it at the time?
Yes, we were walking towards it. Now, how we're so thankful that it could have been so much serious, not knowing what things are transpiring and what's happening, that we're just thankful that God protected us, because it could have been so much more serious for us.
As you got closer, I guess an official came to you and said...
No, we went into the gate, where you go into the door, into the gate, and we're like, they said, no. I think the people before us, we don't know exactly, but they said, no. You cannot. You got to go back to Canada. There's been an explosion. I said, my car's just over there. I said, don't matter. Get back over. So that's what we did. And then we tried to regroup and figure out what we're going to do. And because we didn't have like a car seat, I called him and said, you know what, go over the Lewis and Queenston Bridge. That's not closed yet. Try to come and get us, because we have a 3-year-old and and not totally prepared to spend a night. And so he came, and then also my nephew had come over too because there wasn't enough room in the car for him, and he brought a car seat, and they got stuck too there, so they're here now too. So it's a whole family affair.
So Ron, from what I understand, when you came, you crossed the Lewiston Bridge. You made it over, but you're one of the last ones to get over, from what I understand.
That's correct. When I got the call from her, she says, "You got to get over. Something's going on at the border." I said, "Okay." I left work, hopped in the car. I got to get across, and they literally, I was on the bridge at Lewiston, and they shut that bridge down on both sides, and I was stuck on the bridge. So they must have said, "We need to get everybody off the bridge," because they don't know what was going to happen, right? So they opened up all the gates, and they got all those cars that were on the bridge, and I looked behind me, there was only maybe 20 cars left. So I barely made it across.
No inspection, they just let you go right through?
You didn't have to pay. They didn't care. They were people get off that bridge. They were moving people quickly. They were taking your passport, checking out, okay, good, you're good to go, and they just pushed you right through.
So when you were getting across the Lewiston Bridge, did you know why at the time the bridge was closed? Did you know that there was an explosion, a fire, or that you just knew it was closed for some reason?
No. Well, we knew it was an explosion. We don't know why or what is going on, because she was saying there was an emergency. Something went down at the bridge. You need to get over here because we need to get back home.